Hello guys, how are you? My name is Sandra Tagle and I'm here to inspire you to be your light. How? Well, this time we will continue with our series of interviews about talent, natural gift that all we have. Yes, you too. This time is with us Jason Weeks. He will talk about his talent, and in my opinion, his talent is when he put in all his beautiful designs the pureness of God. Check it out.
Yes.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Sandra. My name is Jason Weeks. I live in sunny and hot Miami, Florida, and my talent or gift is graphic arts.
Nice. And what is your specific talent in graphic arts?
Well, I think that I have an eye for symmetry. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was what's called the golden ratio. This is an example of it here, and it's a pattern that occurs in nature. We see it in sunflowers, we see it in shells, we see it actually in the female uterus, and it's like God's expression of symmetry and perfection. And my talent is when I'm designing graphics, I have a natural eye for that symmetry. And so when I'm laying things out on whether it's the computer, painting, or whatever, things just fall into place for me. Even in photography, people often say, "Oh, wow, you have an eye for photography, or you have an eye for placement," and I think it's because I just have an eye for that golden ratio. And funny enough, that golden ratio also is can also be found in Donald Trump's head. So you see that it just occurs naturally even in human anatomy. So I think my talent is that, being able to line things up naturally. So yeah.
Okay. And what do you think brings to you, to your life, that talent?
What does my talent bring to me?
Yes.
For me, it gives me a sense of satisfaction to see that I have created this thing that's in front of me from just the thoughts that I was having in my head. It brings me a sense of satisfaction and also completion. Looking at it and just being like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah.
Awesome. And if you can imagine what can bring to others when, for example, if I see your art, and what is your hope that I can see through that, or can experience?
Yeah. Well, it's like when people are out in nature and they experience a flower or anything that has that golden ratio that I was just talking about. Like our godness, or whatever you want to call it, that presence in us recognizes that in nature, and I think whatever I create, it brings that to people as well. Like they stop and it catches their eye, or they get a sense of beauty or fulfillment in just looking at it. Like there's something there, like an allness or a wonder that is brought to the person who's viewing it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how you develop your talent?
I'm always looking for tools to use, especially most of my art is graphic design, so I'm always looking for new programs, I'm always looking for new ways to do things, because one thing is to have this image and idea in your head, but another is to actually get it created out here in the manifest form. So that's not always possible without a bunch of different tools. So I'm always looking online for different programs, looking on my phone for different apps, looking at other artists and seeing how they do things. And most of all, practice, practice, practice. I look back at some of my early stuff and I just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I did that. But it's a process of bringing forth that natural gift, and it's practice, practice, practice.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And when did you notice that you have that talent?
I remember specifically I was hiking in Georgia, probably in my mid-20s, and I was taking pictures, you know, with those old-time pictures, you know, those disposable cameras. And I remember developing the film and sending some of the pictures to my mom, and she responded like, wow, you really have a good eye for this. And I never really thought of myself as a good photographer or artist. It was just something that came naturally to me. So it wasn't until my mom actually recognized it in me that I was like, yeah, I do have an eye. Just like even when I'm focusing the camera and stuff, it just happens naturally for me. So thank you, Mom.
Then what's difficult for you to accept this natural gift? Did you have another thing in mind before you discovered this?
It's funny because I remember in high school, a friend of mine was big into astrology, and she did my astrological chart. And I remember her saying, you're going to have a career that ends in the letters IST, ist. And I always thought, I'm going to be a scientist. But that wasn't only, that didn't turn out to be true for me. But I did turn out to be an artist of sorts. So it wasn't hard for me to accept this. It's something that I've always liked to do, like creating things, designing things, giving things order, aligning things, giving things symmetry. It's just, I've loved it.
Can you say that like is flow into you?
Yeah. It's just something that comes naturally to me. Yeah.
Cool. If you have to say something to the people who see this video, not to advise exactly, but in a way that can help or support their own development, on the inspiration to look at that, what you will say?
I would say look at what comes naturally for you. Look at what comes naturally for you. Simple as that. Don't deny your natural talents, and start somewhere. Even if it's something small, do it and build on that. Because since it's a natural gift for you, it'll develop without much effort.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.